Hello everypony, it's KittyBell23, also known as Tonsu and Nusu. And in today's video, I'm gonna discuss or mention why the fandom is how it is and why I joined it. I may not know the whole story, but I do know many have made this type of video. And with 2020 being done and 2021 just here, I felt that I should mention why I joined the fandom in the first place. Well, to start out with, I was young. Generation 4 was nearing its season 2 Canterlot Wedding finale. I found the fandom by choice, or just browsing. Lots of people mention this fandom, and I didn't quite understand it. When I was younger, and I saw the older generations that came before Generation 4, I didn't really think much of it at first. But then this video, a PMV, a parody of one of my favorite songs, made me curious as to the fandom and the show in general. I admit, at first I was a small thing, really small interest, that grew. After a while, I started seeing myself as a brony, more or less, as during that time of my realization, things were tough. The parents were fighting sometimes. My sister and I butted heads, but felt worried and concerned why our parents would fight. At first, I didn't think I was going to make it through that. But I do now realize how silly I was back then. Sure, I was apprehensive at first, enjoying a show of cute magical ponies. But then I realized something. It made me happier. As cheesy as that sounds, it actually helped me out of one of my darker times that many may not have noticed. I didn't talk too much about it as I felt I didn't need to. Everyone else was already having their problems, so I didn't want them to bother with mine. One day, I was on YouTube before I started doing videos again. My first video was over 7 years old, and that was when I was really young and in a place that I didn't want to stay in. I had hardships, as most people did. The first being, where did I fit in? The second being that I was socially awkward. And the third being that I felt that I should have done things on my own. But then, that type of thinking led me into one of my darker times. A depression of sorts that I thought I would never come out of. I was, in hindsight, angry, upset, and sad that I couldn't mention anything because I felt it was worthless to say anything. as many kids do, they feel like they want to be on their own or not be a burden, as I thought. But then there was more YouTube that I watched, moments with Dr. Wolf, and then I realized something. There is merit to what my parents could have helped with. I was in the midst of depression. I started not too happy about it, but there was an instance where I cut at least once or twice, which really didn't make them very happy. But I was in the midst of an outlet that I didn't know what to do with. So I sort of hid it like everything else. Although I can't be too quiet, as after 2, maybe 3 days, my parents found out, and they sat me down to ask what was wrong. I explained that I was going through some rather hard times. I didn't mention what the root cause was, as I didn't know where the root cause was. I didn't want them to be bothered too much or worried. So I mentioned that I was doing hard in the midst of a hard time. They asked me not to do it again, so I said, of course I won't. And I haven't since then. But that's off topic. The reason I joined the fandom was because I felt like I fit in there. Shortly after that realization, I started looking more and more into fan-made content and even the show itself. And I found there was a lot of good things in it. And in hindsight, it helped me become happier. And it even helped me through school. Though I didn't get to watch much of the show because I didn't get the time to do so much when the family wanted TV. We also didn't have much of the channels that had the show on it. So I had to explore another way. YouTube, of course. And while on YouTube, I came across the, aside from the moments of Dr. Wolf, I found more people that did reviews and stuff on the show as a whole. And I felt, well, that's one way to watch the show that I wanted to. So I watched it. And I enjoy every bit of it. So, though I don't remember what the channel was that was doing everything with reviews and reactions, I do remember what really caught my attention was the fan-made content. All that content was awesome. The PMVs were amazing. But I do admit that I'm not fully aware of what is to come, as I've seen everything from a viewer from the outside's perspective. But shortly after feeling like I fit in, I saw my first Dr. Wolf moment with someone that I related to quite a bit, Miss Lightning Bliss. She went through a lot more than I did, but in a way, both Dr. Wolf and Miss Bliss have helped me out with some really fun content that I enjoy to this day. After that, I looked to other channels. So, for all of you out there that may come across this video, or I don't know, someone mentions my channel, well, I want to thank you guys for what you've accomplished. It's put so much joy seeing you guys grow. So, my thanks go out to Dr. Wolf, Aeon of Dreams, Lightning Bliss, Thespio, and Keyframe, as well as Golden Fox. Your content has made this person really happy. And one day I hope I could see you guys and meet you in person. But with what's going on around this time, it might be a while. Anyway, shortly after those, I found another channel, Mr. Silverquill. And I enjoyed that content as well. After a while, I started creating my own OC. Things were hard for me as my imagination wasn't all that well developed in a sense. So, my first OC, the one you guys see on my channel today, has been my only OC, even if I don't fully have a backstory for her yet. Her name is Misty Mystical, of course. So, thanks to you guys. And the show itself. The show has helped me out of a lot of things. And, more often than not, things have looked up for me for the better. After a while, I started making my videos. And even though I'm a small channel, it's the passion that I put into them. Granted, they're not edited and some of them are raw content, but that's just how I am. I don't have very much skill in editing, so I just post the raw stuff instead. It seems to help, but yeah. So, after I found Silverquill's channel, I found F.O.B Equstria, and that channel has made me happier with their breakdown of the show in their most comical and most fun analyst type of format that I've enjoyed. So thank you for that. All of you guys at the Rift Cafe have been awesome. I don't know many of your people, but I do like the channels that I found. So, I want to say once again thank you. And for the viewers that actually watch my videos, I want to thank you guys as well. Because my channel has been rather, not as active as most people. I have to admit that. It's just been so hard to find ideas. But I assure you that I'm trying. Anyway, I'll leave the link to the channels that I mentioned in my video here in the description below. If you guys ever felt out of place, just remember one thing. Even if you aren't a fan, there's people out there that care. And Even if you're not in the fandom, I still appreciate that you guys take the time to watch my videos. Even if some of you don't leave comments, but I can't put that against you, as there's not much to say. But I want to say I appreciate your guys' dedication to the channel, even if my content is slower to get out than most. So, until next time, I have been Tansu Anusu, also known as KittyBell23. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Goodbye. Also, thank you again, all of you amazing analysts out there. Thank you. Take care and have a good day.